I welcome you all on SSEN. Today we have with me Mr. Pullea Gopichand. As you all know that Government of India has constituted a task force to overhaul and reform the Indian coaching system. And Pullea Gopichand is heading this task force. His team has already submitted a report. So let's talk about the future of Indian sports, especially in Olympic, and the coaching standard. Welcome to our show, Gopi. So tell us something about the current scenario and the present challenges of Indian coaching system.
Well, I think today as a nation, our aspiration is to become the top 10 nations in the world at the Olympics. That would mean that we need to produce a lot more medals very quickly. And whether it's infrastructure or whether it's the people infrastructure, which is coaches, support staff, I think we don't have enough of them because the aspiration or the bar is very high and we need to start at various levels. So we have fundamental challenges. We don't have educational programs which are structured. We don't have people like coach developers, coach evaluators, coach mentors. Those words are also not there. We don't have a basic structure in terms of a grassroots coaching system, intermediate or an elite or a high performance or a national team. We don't have these. Even the vocabulary doesn't exist in the present ecosystem. So I think we need to start from a lot of things from the very beginning. We've had some success, we've got some good coaches, we've got some medals. That's been mostly outside of a structured system, I would say. Today, our government is actually looking at producing or lots of initiatives to train athletes. So our coaching structure needs to be stronger, and that's why this task force has been constituted. And we've been a committee which has come together to give the recommendations for exactly that.
So it seems you have already submitted a 43 or 47 pages report. So what are the major recommendations you have suggested for?
I think one is to actually have a national coach accreditation board because various organizations in the country, whether it's schools, universities or associations or private parties, trying to do a lot of things. So try and standardize it or try and get everything to a certain standard so that we have a system which has got an accreditation, a board which actually says that this is a legitimate thing or this is the kind of subjects which you need to teach to a particular coach. So that's one primary thing. The second thing is to actually bifurcate or to say, okay, who is the coach who's working at the grassroots level and who is the coach working at the intermediate level, at the high performance level, and knowing very well that each of these are big, very important pillars in the ecosystem, and how do you grade them and how do you reward them and how do you consider their performances to be good or bad. And these are things which need to come up in the ecosystem. So that's the second part of the structure. The third thing is also have coaching systems which are not on ground, which are internship models, which are actually moving away from the classroom to on field, and almost have, the suggestion is to have roughly about 1400 hours of internship for coaches and support teams so that they're actually learning on the field and rather than in the classroom all the time. So these are, I would say, the primary
major recommendation.
And probably another one which I could add on is to have a coach and a player registry which actually connects. If I were to ask you who has been the coach of Rani Rampal or who's been the coach of a Ranju Bobicho or who's been the coach of a Manu Bako, I think you would just have a database which would say that when she was 10 years, she was training under this setup, she was the coach, and so that kind of an entire registry of players and coach connect, so that we are able to actually identify the coaches, we are identifying their learning pathways and their progression pathways.
Tell me one thing. So is this recommendation, can I say that this is top tier top tier reform you are suggesting, not the lower tier. What about the lower tier reform?
Well, what we are talking about here is a grassroots intermediate. At every level there is a reform. It's not necessarily at the higher level. So we are talking about actually finding out where the coaches are, finding out what they need to do, and what is their ecosystem around it, and try to provide them the support at various levels. So we are also, one of the other things which comes up is a top scheme kind of a thing for coaches. We have a coach who is aspiring, who's talented, who's wanting to put in the work. How do you support those coaches? Till now the support has been at the player level, but we are looking at a coach level support from the government of India, and that is also something which is part of the recommendation.
So how do you see the future of India in upcoming Olympics?
Well, I think we've done well. The programs, whether it's the Khelo India, the top scheme, the various corporates who are getting into sport, the reforms in the sports segment, all of them are fantastic things which have really come up. And I do believe that this is something which will actually benefit all of us going forward.
And another thing, everybody is saying that overemphasis on cricket and cricket and cricket somehow affecting our overall growth as a sporting nation.
Well, I think this has been a subject which has been there for a very long time. But to be fair, I think whenever Indians have done well, whenever actually we have done well in terms of in various sports, I think we've had some good support coming in. I think people are watching. It's important for us to actually produce those results, and when we do that, I think we get the results.
Thank you very much, Gopi.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.